Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Y2K. My name is Blake, and today I want to talk about these BFG K02s right here. I just installed them on my Landcruiser, so I want to just give some honest feedback on them. I went with the stock size, the 285/60, and I'll tell you why when we start driving, but it looks pretty good. I do have the leveling spacer from Toyota that I may install, but it looks more like a Landcruiser to me now. So let's get in the car and just go for a short little drive on this pretty day here in Florida, although hot, but a beautiful day here at the boatyard. Overflow parking for this bayou area here, and let's just talk about my thoughts. Okay, I've already started the car because it is hot. I'm already sweating pretty bad. So yes, I put the K02s on. I think these are probably the most popular tire for things such as Landcruiser, 4Runners, GXs, etc. And they're factory tires on a couple cars. I think Raptor's one of them, and the Jeep Wrangler, I think, and even the new Ineos Grenadier. So I had stock Dunlops, which were really street tires. I think they were all seasons. They were pretty ugly, and you know, they like squealed when you pulled into parking lots and stuff. Really big pet peeve of mine. I don't like that. Look at how beautiful out there. So I've got K02s on a 5th gen 4Runner we keep out at a vacation house we have in Montana, and I liked them on there, so I figured I would try them out on the Landcruiser. This is my daily driver, so they need to be quiet, comfortable, etc., etc. So let me give you just some honest feedback. So I went with the stock sizing because I didn't want an E load rating. If you go up to a 285/65, which is fairly common to do on this, and it doesn't rub, I believe. I don't know why I put my blinker on just to go around that guy. But anyways, it's a common upsize. I don't believe it rubs at all. You don't have to really change anything. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I didn't want to do the E load rating because I believe that's a 10-ply tire, and it doesn't have good ride quality characteristics based on everything I've researched and read about, and I didn't want to deal with that. I bought this car to be comfortable, not to get bumped around like I'm in like a Wrangler or something. So that was my thought process. I do think they look better with the bigger tires. So I got the stock size. These are a D load rating. These are an 8-ply tire, and it still rides worse than stock for sure. Maybe if you did an aftermarket suspension it would fix that, but this suspension is set up for, you know, the stock tire characteristics. I believe, I would assume that's why they put those tires on it and calibrated it all around that. So it does have a worse ride. That based on the recommendation on this tire calculator I found and on some Landcruiser forums, I think I Hate Mud is like the most popular one that I'm on. It appears, you know, that the K02s are supposed to be in this D-load rating at 46 PSI cold, which is a lot because these are, I believe, certified up to 65 PSI max load, super stiff sidewall. So, you know, technically you're underinflated on these if you're anything below 46 cold. I tried them at 46, and it felt like I was driving on marble, like a marble road in, you know, overseas somewhere. Like a pavered street, like a really bad one. Like I felt every single thing, and I did not like it. I really did not like it. It was like driving a covered wagon, you know, like with wood wheels. Maybe it's because the tires were brand new and they hadn't kind of been like run in yet. I dropped it down to 42, and it is much better. It's not stock levels, but it's much better. So I think I'm going to leave it at that for now, and hopefully the wear is okay. I might do the chalk test just to see if I've kind of got it right. So ride quality, was a little disappointed. I didn't notice it as much in our 4Runner. It's a Pro. I don't know if that suspension's just set up for it better. because it's not as wafty and, you know, kind of Range Rover-y as this thing feels when you're driving it with a KDSS. I say Range Rover-y because they kind of float around, and this does the same thing. When I drove a full-size one, it kind of had that same vibe to it. So that's what I've noticed on that. At higher speeds, like around, I don't know, 70, really around 80, it has some issues with like kind of floating around. And I did get it realigned. The alignment was off pretty bad. I think it had some toe in, and it also had a caster issue on the left wheel. So yeah, just things I've noticed. It kind of wanders a little bit more now with these K02s than the stock tires did. You can barely hear them. It's not enough to bother me, but you can hear them just a little bit. And it looks so much better. And I probably will do the factory front spacer from Toyota just to level this thing out. I don't know why it's raked down. It's probably for gas mileage, I would guess, or maybe when you tow it kind of makes it where it's like sitting even because it doesn't have a rear leveling suspension like a lot of SUVs do at this price point. This is just an old school, you know, deal. It's not anything crazy. The KDSS is pretty advanced where it disconnects the sway bar, you know, on severe articulation, which is cool. Also, another thing about these, they're heavier than the stock tires. So you're gonna notice that the braking is not quite as good. Okay, that's something you're gonna notice. And the acceleration is just a little bit more sluggish, not quite as immediate. So that's something to consider. The gas mileage for me actually hasn't seen a decline, which I think you usually get like a half mile per gallon less. But I haven't noticed that. So I'm actually happy that the mileage so far hasn't changed, but it has kind of made the car, as far as response goes, a little bit lazier. But yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts. They ride stiffer for sure, so keep that in mind. The Toyo AT3 is pretty much similar load rating to the stock Dunlops, and you might prefer that if you're just looking for something that feels similar. I haven't driven on those yet, so I don't want to say for sure, but just based on what I saw, those only require 34 PSI based on the calculator I put. So I think that would give you probably a better ride quality. I don't know if they're louder than these BFG K02s. I haven't, you know, like I said, I haven't driven those. So, but I love the way these K02s look, and I'd like to drive one with AT3s, the Toyos. My wife's GX550 has those, but they're not exactly the same AT3 as you would get from Tire Rack or something like that. They're specifically co-developed with Lexus. So I can't, you know, those aren't loud at all, but I can't comment if the AT3s are, you know, like the ones you get off Tire Rack would be louder. But I'd like to experience that on this to kind of compare and contrast. I think these look the best. I think they're more true Landcruiser tires. And overall, I'm happy with them, but the wandering's kind of annoying. That's a purple X5 M60, I think, or M40. It was nice. You don't see purple much. Must have been individual color. So anyways, the wandering's kind of annoying. The rough ride was a little disappointing, but once I got the PSI knocked down a little bit, I prefer it much more. I might be wearing the tires out a little bit more, but I don't really care. So I just want to be comfortable. But yeah, that's what I have to say. I would recommend them, and just keep in mind that they might ride a little stiffer. It might kind of wander around a little bit. For some reason, it likes to pull to the right some, just a touch, like it kind of a drifting. I wouldn't say it's a pulling. When I brake, I kind of feel maybe it's pulling just a tad. I might flip the front two tires and see if that fixes it at all, but it's not really a huge thing. And overall, I think they're a nice set of tires. So, and I think the biggest thing with these is they last like 50 to 60,000 miles, I believe, based on what I've read. So that part is great, which means I won't be getting tires for probably 4 or 5 years, because I think I drive this 12 to 15,000 miles a year. A big chunk of that is driving to Montana and back once a year, which now we're going to be dividing and conquering the GX550 in this. Every other year, you know, we'll use one or the other. So we'll kind of split the miles across those two cars, and that'll be that. So hope you enjoyed this kind of short and sweet little episode, just giving an honest opinion on these K02s, and I recommend you pick them up, and I think you'll enjoy them. But maybe consider the AT3 if you're looking for something with a similar load rating. They're just an XL, which is much more comparable to the Dunlops that are factory on these. So have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you would like to do so, and we'll have some more videos coming up soon, I think, with some more Toyota stuff for now. All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.